The Emperor will see you now.
Hey there, it's Theo from Geeky Gamer Guy. This video I'll be reviewing Gùgōng from Tasty Minstrel Games. The Emperor doesn't like to be kept waiting. Better hurry before your family becomes an ancient dynasty. In Gùgōng, 1 to 5 players are heads of noble families trying to get an audience with the Emperor during the Ming Dynasty in ancient China. To do this, players will need to persuade officials to do their bidding. During that era, much like now, bribing officials with money was highly frowned upon. But exchanging a beautiful bowl of fruit with a jade statue certainly helped to get the job done. Oh, for me? Thank you! The game is played over 4 days, or rounds, with 3 phases each: morning, day, and night. The morning phase is mostly to prepare for the day phase with things like gathering additional servants and rolling the fate dice, which I'll touch more on in a bit. Starting with the first player and going clockwise, each player takes a turn exchanging a gift. To do this, players select a gift card from their unique starting hand and exchange it with one found in the 7 locations around the board. When swapping gifts, if the gift card is numbered higher than the one exchanged, the player can do the action on the gift card and the action space itself, in that order. If the card is lower than or equal to the one exchanged, they can still perform the action if they discard another card from their hand, or move 2 servants from their servant pool to the general supply. They can also just take the card for going any actions. There are several locations players can go to, like travel, which allows them to place their traveler and move along the paths to collect travel tokens. These tokens provide benefits like allowing the player to get back more servants into their servant pool, or exchange cards from their hand or discard pile with cards on the board. Players can also help aid in the reconstruction of the Great Wall by placing servants along the track. Once the number of servants reach the amount listed according to player count, the wall is scored, giving the player with the most servants there some victory points and allowing them to move their envoy. What is this envoy, you ask? It literally corresponds to the most important location of the game. The Palace of Heavenly Purity location is where players move their envoy to hopefully gain an audience with the Emperor. Please talk to me. After all players have used their gift cards, the night phase begins. Players compare their face-down numbered gift cards to the numbers on the fate dice. For every match, a servant is moved from their general supply back into the player's servant pool. Rinse and repeat the same phases for 4 rounds. At the end of the 4th day, all players that reach the top of the Palace of Heavenly Purity earn the right to score points. I told you it was important! The Great Wall is scored 1 last time and points are added for any decrees that the player may have invested in, as well as any jade acquired. The player with the most points wins. OMG, I love this game. It really gives that giddy feeling when playing that is actually quite rare for me, though the list keeps growing each day. The mechanics are so smooth and I love how the cards work in this game. Exchanging gifts to not only gain the benefits on the cards, which usually ties to another location on the board, allowing you to do 2 locations at once, but also exchanging them for a numbered card found on the fate dice is such a deliciously hard choice. Choices! Because you'll really never have enough servants to do all you want to do. So acquiring as much of them as you can is very important. Each of the locations do something different, but feels so tightly woven together. I only touched upon some of them, but all of them are beneficial and really open up the possibilities of where to go. All the strategies I played have been very balanced. It feels like you can go pretty much anywhere and score a nice amount of points. I did find that focusing on Jade is probably the hardest to do because it requires so many servants to get them. Definitely making sure to get your envoy to the top of the Palace of Heavenly Purity is the most important. I would generally keep stressing to players that if they want to even do final scoring, they need to be chumming up with the Emperor to do so. Hey big boy, come and see me sometime. Mechanics aside, this game is absolutely mesmerizing. Oh, it's so pretty! The graphic design is sharp and legible. Once you know what all the symbols correspond to, it's a breeze to teach. It has such beautiful warm colors and really has a very nice table presence. Plus, the player boards are not only beautiful, but serve such a nice function as an organizer and phase reference. Love. Lastly, I want to say that this video shows off the retail version of the game, and I love it. Even though there's a fancier deluxe version, this one is pretty solid and stands on its own. Trust me and know that this will more than satisfy your needs. Now I think you can already tell that I freaking love this game, but there are some things I wish that were ironed out. Most of the symbols and iconography are pretty straightforward and helpful, but there were a couple that looked so similar that it was so hard to tell them apart, leaving people scratching their heads and needing to put the game on hold. Which leads me to my second gripe. No reference cards for symbols that are commonly used. It would be even more helpful to hand these out to players for them to look over before their turns, instead of passing a rulebook around. All these minor issues aside, this is one fantastic card-driven worker placement and resource management game that plays so smoothly, you should definitely check this one out. That's it! Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, plus hit the bell to not miss out on future videos. Until next time, stay geeky, keep gaming! Turn exchanging a gift. A gift. A gift. A gift. Players that reach the top of the Palace of Heavenly Purity. Blah, 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 blah. Don't even. There's a fancier deluxe version. Oh, you and me. You know, we got a thing. You and me, we got a thing.